Welcome to the Power Play Reconnect experience. I'm your host, Ruth Haskins. The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know itself. Carl Sagan. When we are young, we think the world is our oyster. We also see and are taught that all that we can be, do, and have is outside of ourselves. We think we have control of so many things, only to discover that we don't. We actually plan our future in our youth. When we reach our future as adults, sometimes we may feel cheated, lied to, or at least greatly disappointed. Although there are many accomplishments in which we take pride, sometimes we live those years with a nagging feeling that something is missing. And if we go down the checklist of our lives, we may find everything or nearly everything that we somehow imagined or desired to have as part of our life. We have the bank accounts, we have the retirement plans, children's college funds are all in place. We have even climbed successfully in our career choice. Then one day, maybe there is an inciting incident and everything loses its luster. Questions begin to rise up to which we have no answers. Now, it's an easy choice to ignore the questions. Sticking our heads in the sand is an appropriate but ineffective response to fear. When we think we have life figured out and suddenly it takes a sharp left, we can be left with no defenses. The questions that come up are not about how much money we have or don't have in the bank. The questions are much more personal and at the same time more universal. Because we have defined ourselves and been defined by all the externals, when life takes a turn and the externals are not enough, we are left with the proverbial me, myself, and I. Because we have vested so much of our living into the externals, it is difficult to define ourselves without the cars, bank accounts, houses, etc., with which we have built our lives. It's just hard to suddenly be confronted with the serious task of being. So when disaster strikes, people who experience the loss of everything, and I do mean everything, are confronted with the sudden reality of being. They realize how much they invested in everything outside of themselves. A disaster, illness, sudden economic disaster, or the death of a loved one can strip away, if only temporarily, all the externals from our lives. For a moment, we experience just us. Everything else is gone. We are like a single tree left standing in a forest devastated by fire. When this happens, it is a time when we may discover who and what we really are. We are certainly not all the things we surrounded ourselves with, or even our accomplishments. We come face to face with self. This seems a raw experience. It can be. But as we recognize the truth of the quote used at the beginning of this conversation, we begin to smile and be grateful in spite of losses. If we look within, we reconnect to a greater truth. The cosmos is within us. We are made of star stuff. We are a way for the universe to know itself. Just a thought. This is Ruth, and this is the Power Play Reconnect experience. Thank you for listening.